just when I had prayed the Ryan's prayer. And my prayer is this: the words of my mouth and the thoughts that are within each one of our hearts, that they would be acceptable in God's sight. He knows those things. That's our prayer tonight. And just even as we move in this time, that God would kind of not just be around us, but that He would truly be in this time in our hearts. We are talking about hearts in this series, which is kind of a cool thing. And last week, if you were here with us, we kicked off a new series, and it's going to kind of set the tone for the rest of the year for us. It was called Mission, what was it? 2027, thank you. Jeremiah 24, verse 7 was kind of our theme verse, and in that verse, God promises to give His people a heart to know Him. And so we started talking about the heart last week. And we're going to look over a period of weeks at what it takes to grow somebody's heart. I don't know what you think about the state of your heart right now. Hopefully by the time we're done with this series, you have a little bit better insight as far as where your heart is and how that's growing, really to know God better and better, more and more deeply, day after day, year after year, as your life goes on. So that's kind of our goal here. And what we're going to do over the next few weeks is we're going to kind of start out with this big picture. Manny was asking me right before the service, he goes, do I get to go to Brazil and Mexico tonight? Because I don't want to go. And I said, yeah, we're going to go there tonight. We're going to end up at some places in the world tonight, really thinking about the fact that God has put us not just in this little plot of ground here, but that He has given us an entire globe. And what's our calling with that? What's our responsibility with that? Next week, we're going to look at our nation, the week after that, our city, workplace, neighborhood, and finally we'll be down to actually your home, the place where you live. And looking at each one of those contexts, how God sent us to be on mission 24/7. So, everybody's story is a little bit different. I shared a little bit about my story. Tonight we're going to let you hear from one of you here. Steve Hughes is going to share a little bit from his own story and how that intersects with the world. Steve has actually been a great part of this community. But also, you may not know, Steve heads a group called CALMS, which is Central American Lutheran Mission Society. And for as much as I know about his life, he's been interested in other parts of the world, Costa Rica, Venezuela, all the areas down south that many times we just think about when we pick up travel brochures. Dominican Republic, has been involved in Mexico, and he's going to be able to share with his experience, his heart tonight. So we're going to think about kind of how you get outside your comfort zone. I'm just going to share a little bit of my story. And I'm just going to go back about a year and a half ago. It was July, early July, and I've got some great friends, Don and Donna Hollingsworth. They had me over for lunch, and it was the day before they were leaving for Belize. They had already signed up to be part of the mission trip. And we had been trying to get together and just ended up backing up right the day before they were going to take off to go out of town. And I know I probably wouldn't have a whole lot of people over right before I was leaving town for 2 weeks, but that's what they did. That's just the kind of people they are. And so I went over there for lunch, and I walked in, and what they were going to do is they were going to spend 2 weeks down there. The first week they were going to go with a team from our church and build a pavilion in this little town of St. Vitus, which is right on the coast. Beautiful water, palm trees, very, very minimal kinds of structures, basically plywood shacks on stilts, but great people down there, a lot of opportunity for the Christian message. And so they were going down there to build a pavilion, first of all, and then that team was going to leave, some of them were going to stay down, and then the second week the group was going to go down, and they were going to go to Vacation Bible School for a couple hundred young men and women. So it was kind of a cool thing, and I walked in for lunch, and thinking we were just going to have lunch, and immediately they said, hey, we've got an opening in the Belize trip, you should think about going. I'm like, yeah, welcome to lunch too. And so we actually kind of went out to their backyard. They've got this great backyard that you kind of feel like you're already in the tropics. They've got this covered porch that's attached to the back of their house. And it's just got this big ceiling. They've got this white wicker furniture you're kind of lounging in and big cushions. The ceiling fan is moving the air around, and there's tropical plants. The smoke is pouring out of the barbecue grill, and the waitresses are bringing you mojitos. It is a beautiful location. That's actually Donna that would be doing that. And they brought out the photo albums of the Belize trip, and they're showing me pictures of the coast and the water, and they've done snorkeling, their palm trees and the iguanas. I'm thinking they're selling me something here. But we were talking about it, but we started talking about the ministry and all the pictures of the kids' faces. It was just incredible. And Donna looked at me at one point in this lunch, and she said, it turns out one of the women who was part of the Bible school team had a pretty serious lung infection, didn't look like she'd be able to go, and she said, Pete, you should really think about going. And I said, well, how sick is she? I was trying to figure out, is this a serious offer or not? I didn't want her to be sick, but then I just wanted to find out, and it turned out she's pretty sick. And so I drove home from that lunch, and by the time I hit my driveway, Sue Dick was on the phone with me. So you know Sue and Bob Dick, they're regularly part of this community. And Sue leads our entire police mission down there. And she calls me on the phone before I hit my house, and she says, I hear you're going to police. I'm going like, hey. But it was one of those things that from the very start, I had the feeling, you ever get this, where you just know you're supposed to say yes? And it's not like that for me with everything. I say no to a lot of really good things. But in this particular occasion, I really felt as though God was saying, you here, right now. And I said yes. And I said yes even before we got the final doctor report back on whether or not Karen said, well, we could go on that. And I said yes before I even knew all the details about the trip or how we were going to arrange for everything. I didn't know how I was going to clear my schedule for 8 days, but I still said yes. I said yes before I knew exactly what I personally would be doing as part of this trip. And I got down there and I kept saying yes all week long. I was saying, okay, God, you told me to come. I really felt that God had told me to come. And I said, God, here I am, all of me. I'm in the lease. Use me however you want to use me. And there were times during that trip where I was frustrated. I was a little bit bored because I thought I could be doing more. It was like, come on, God, you brought me down here. I'm ready. You know, it's like this American type A down there. And I kept saying yes all week long. And I recognize, as I look back on that experience, as I think about that particular one and others like that, there's something that happens to our heart when we say yes. And I went back just over the weekend, I looked up my journal from that particular trip, the days before, during, and after. And following the trip, I wrote these words. I said, the biggest growth from this experience comes from myself putting me intentionally into the will of God. And surrendering what I want to do and saying, God, you play through, you work this out. And that was the biggest growth that happened internally just with me saying, God, I don't know what it is, but I'll do it. I'll go. Last week, Jeremiah 24, there's this passage we looked at a week ago. And there's an image in that chapter of 2 baskets of figs. We talked about that last week. One was good figs, one was bad figs. And I asked you a question last week. I said, are you in submission to what God is doing in your life? And that was a huge question for us last week. And if you are, if you're kind of saying, God, I want your will to be done. I want you to decide how things are going to work out in my life. I'm going to say yes. Then you have a lot of common with what Jeremiah describes as a good fig. On the other side of the coin are those who kind of say, I like it when I'm in control of that. And it's a little bit scary when you're calling the shots. I think I'm just going to kind of take control back. And there are people that desensitize themselves to the voice of God. And I think that can happen over a period of time. I talk to people a lot. They say, I really want to hear God's voice in this issue. Now, there's a big decision that they're dealing with. And they say, I really want to know what God thinks about this. And there's some people I look at and I say, you don't want to know God's voice in any other area of your life. Why do you expect to hear God's voice right now? And I think we can do that over a period of time. We stop wanting to hear God's voice. Well, what we're going to talk about in this series, kind of as these next weeks go on, is how do we get more and more sensitized to what the voice of God sounds like? Not just for the big decisions, but also for the day-to-day things. And some of those are just a little inclination of our heart. You have a sense that God is calling you to do something. Have you ever felt that? It doesn't have to be the big stuff like go to police. Have you ever just felt like just an internal little nudge to do something? Maybe it's just to pick up the phone, to reach out to somebody to say you're sorry. Maybe just this little nudge to walk across the street or to drive across town. I've got some friends, in fact, Grace is one of them. She cares for an elderly parent and goes across town and spends that time. There are people that do that. Maybe you got involved with one of our mission partners. Maybe you got involved with a local church here in the Maplewood area in serving the community here. Maybe you got involved in College Hill or Good Samaritan or one of those other places. Maybe God was telling you to move across the country. I don't expect to hear that call every other week, but there have been a couple times in my life where I felt God was specifically saying, I want you to pick up and move everything from the West Coast back to the Midwest, or vice versa. It's like, wow. And when you feel that, what is an obstacle to that happening? Or maybe it physically is to go to another part of the globe.